Venting does not release negative emotions. It actually amplifies them. The idea that venting and yelling or complaining will actually be cathartic for you has actually been disproven in the scientific literature, and that's not the case. It actually leads to this cycle of negative rumination that leads to increases in anxiety and depression and a whole lot of negative health and well-being effects. One study actually showed that when they have people actually take a punching bag and hit that punching bag and think about the person that they're angry at, they actually end up more angry than the group who didn't think about the person that they were angry at. And so just by thinking about the things that you're angry at more actively, you actually perpetuate these feelings more frequently. Additionally, venting and rumination, with a friend or with a colleague, complaining about things that are bothering you, even though they feel cathartic, they're linked to increased onsets in depression and anxiety and longer lasting depression and anxiety symptoms. And so obviously these aren't things that you want, and they happen because you're in this cycle of negative rumination. Thinking about these negative thoughts all the time puts you in this loop where you're constantly reinforcing your brain to look for all these negatives, and it really stresses out your nervous system. You're putting your nervous system on high alert. You're always in this fight or flight state because you're increasingly looking for and perpetuating these negative thoughts. And so what can you do about these, this negative phenomenon? There's really two things that you can do. The first being really figuring out the difference between negative and constructive rumination. So your negative rumination is what I was just talking about, and this is really characterized by abstract thoughts. So you're thinking things like, oh, why does this happen to me? I just want this to be over. I just want to feel happier. I just want to feel better. Whatever that might be, those broad abstract feelings that don't actually give you any concrete action just lead you on this endless cycle. But you can have positive, concrete thoughts that lead to this constructive rumination, where you're actually dissecting where something went wrong in a negative event in your life and actually thinking through, what could I have done better? What actually went wrong? And how can I be better next time? So thinking about these kind of things can really lead to a lot of decreases in these negative effects that you might see. You're not going to get as many of these negative mood states and the spirals that you might see. And the other thing that you can do is just let it go. A lot of these things, a lot of the problems that we have, that we get mad about and that we vent about, aren't that big of a deal. Something that I do pretty frequently is just ask myself, am I going to care about this or be mad about this in a day or in a week or in a month? And 95% of the time, the answer is no, I'm not. And so you can just let those things go, and you're going to forget about them a lot quicker than you might realize. Hopefully this helps. More resources are in the caption.